What is the password?
Indominator bricks.
Thank you.
It must be great to be Batman. I can only imagine he's going home right now to party the night away, surrounded by scores of friends and lady tennis players.
Hello there, guys. This is Indominator bricks, and due to a certain crisis that's been happening, I have extra time in my hands. So, well, what do you know? I'm back. So today I'm bringing you a modified rendition of set 76122, the BATCAVE Clayface invasion. So I have modified this BATCAVE, and I'm just gonna give you a quick tour of what I've added. I did this to inspire anyone who wants to modify but doesn't know where to start, because when I wanted to modify this BATCAVE, I looked on YouTube to see if anyone had a modified version of this set, but I couldn't find them, so I had to start from scratch with no inspiration. So hopefully this should give some inspiration to any of you who are looking to modify this set. So I will start off with the core.
Oh, hello guys. Wow, my Batcave is so awesome. I'm so glad that there's stairs here for me to use. Oh wow, look at this. A method of getting up to my own Batcave. Oh look, another set of stairs. Oh my, I am so glad that these exist. Now I can sit down on my own chair.
So anyway, the first addition I did make was adding ladders on this side of the Batcave as well as on the other side, and a little ladder here to get up to the Batcomputer, because that's one thing the original version was missing. And I was just wondering, how did Batman, you know, get up to the Batcave, to the Batcomputer, if there was no way to get up there. And moving on to this part here, as you can see, this is a lab, and I've added a couple of things. This is a chemical mixer. These are supposed to be test tubes, and it just spins. It uses one of those new pieces, which you should have spares of if you have this set. This I just added a skull because I think the original Batcave from 2008 had a head in a jar, so I just thought this would be cool. Back here, there's a Bunsen burner with a stand and another test tube. There's a flask, and here is a cure gun or syringe gun, which he could use to, like, it could have like cures or something, where he could use to give to people who have fear toxin in them, or even the Joker toxin, whichever one. If any of you remember, this section here used to have a really silly looking jetpack thing, which when I put it on Batman, it just doesn't look like Batman would ever wear that. And so I just completely got rid of it. And here is one of my favorite parts. It's a weapons rack. So this weapons rack has a couple of Batman's gadgets, 3 of which are from the Batman Arkham games, and one which is from Batman vs Superman, and I'll show them up close now. First off is Batman's explosive gel, which is a gel that he, sprays on the floor, and then he presses a button and it explodes. It was used a lot in the Batman Arkham games. This is Batman's Disruptor. It's basically a gun that shoots electrical charges that turn machines on and off in the game. And this is Batman's remote hacking device, which he uses to open doors and hack cameras and stuff. And it's pretty simple build, 3 pieces, and it looks pretty good. And finally, this is Batman's Kryptonite Sphere, which he uses in the Batman vs Superman movie when he stabs Superman. Sorry to spoil it to you, but he does. This is the Syringe Gun it's a closer look at the Syringe Gun. I didn't make this one up, but I do feel like he would use something like this when he wants to inject some sort of chemical into someone, like Killer Croc or Scarecrow, or anyone who needs sedatives or something. And he uses this new piece, which also comes as a spare if you bought this set. So yeah, that's how you build it. And this is what the rack looks like without any guns. It has a the Disruptor needs a separate clip that faces a different way. Alright. My next modification are these two little fences here. Now, when I got this set, I looked at this and I thought, that does look like the entrance of the Batcave. And you know what? In the 1966 Batman series, there were these fences that flipped downwards, and whenever the Batmobile came through. So I couldn't make them flip downwards, so you can open them up like this, and the Batmobile can come through. Here's a closer look of how I did it. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, and if you can, I would recommend doing this. It's pretty cool, and it does look like an entrance to an actual cave. And speaking of caves, I added some bats in there. It's a bit of a glare. And there's a closer look at the bats. So they're just hanging from top ceiling. They dangle if they want, and that just adds a bit of ambience, because in the original set there's only one bat in the Batcave, which is pretty disappointing. So here's 4 more. Moving away from the center, to the left is the Batman jail cell. I didn't add much. I did put these little panels here, you know, just for decoration. And of course, this is where the Batwing would go.
If I had one!
Which I don't. So it's just empty. But anyway, the modification that I did make is a helicopter pad, and it can attach to these little pinholes here. And if you attach it, there you go. This is what it looks like. Well, it doesn't look like much without the helicopter. So this is the helicopter I use. It's the only one I have. There has been, I think, 2 other helicopters. This is the only one that has these skids, which work with this design. The other ones have wheels. So I've made it so it doesn't touch the little place here. Maybe, I don't think the helicopter would still spin if the Batwing was there. So anyway, take this off and take a closer look at the pad. So this panel here, I put it here just so these little other panels here have a point. So it's like a computer, and he's just searching up the different villains. So there's a little catwalk here, but it's not really meant to be walked on. So maybe here. It's just to give some room between the pad and the jail cell. So if we look at the entrance, the stairs, I made the same stairs for all my sections. I copied the ones that the set gave. That really makes it look like they all have the same design, same features. And I put a lot of rock work and design and cave elements here, because a lot of the rest of the Batcave has it, so it's important that this one has. So if any of you are trying to build some more extensions to the Batcave, I would recommend keeping to the design. And what do I mean by that? I mean adding these little pinholes, adding the rocks and the stairs, and keeping to the same color, like the blue, the black, and the trans blue, I mean. And last thing, I just added a little panel here just for decoration. Yeah, so that's the helicopter pad. It's a cool place to put a Batman vehicle. Now moving to the right, to the side where the elevator is, I added this little Batman suit rack. Now it's nothing special, it's nothing extravagant like the one in the Batman movie Batcave, because that one does use the bigger and cooler looking tank treads. This one uses the smaller ones, which are very much harder to use than the other ones. Now I know it doesn't look as good as the one from the other Batcave, but it does the trick for me. Of course, if I had more of these, I would make it so it's not just a circle, it's more of a chain. but for now it's a circle. I'm sorry. And yeah, it can hold four bat suits. And the reason why it's difficult to work with, it's because these little holes over here, only the middle one can fit a bar through. These other two don't, which is what makes this difficult to work with. And it's not the sturdiest connection, so yeah. And also when I was attaching this, I did have to add a little extension so the back suits don't hit off the elevator. Here we go, and it spins nicely. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And I put this little control panel. As you can see, I kept to the same design. I kept the pinholes. I kept the grilled floor, the light blue, trans blue pieces, and the stairs as well. Moving on to the last addition I made, it's a little dock for Batman to put his jet ski. Now, when I don't have the Batboat, but when I do plan on making a bigger version of this, so we can put the Batboat. For now, the only water vehicle I have is the jet ski from the Killer Croc set. And it's different from the other ones because it doesn't have stairs. Instead, it has these ladders here and these wooden planks to make it look like a dock, and these stone design. Instead of brown, I went with gray, just because it's by water and it's different. So this is what the water looks like. I did need to put a little jumper stud so that I can attach the jet ski. So it's not huge, it's not that impressive, but it does the job of, you know, being a place where Batman parks his cars, his vehicles. So basically, yeah, it's just a place to put the jet ski. To conclude this video, I want to just give you one last overview of everything. So, the helicopter pad, the lab, the little stairs, upgrade to the arsenal area, fences, suit rack, and jet ski dock. And to show you that you can still customize it, I will rearrange them now. So there is a different take on what the Batcave can look like. Unfortunately, the helicopter does only work on this side and you can't attach anything here. And the dock as well, it only works on this side. But the suit rack can work on either side, and so can these two, which come from the set. So anyway, this is what it looks like. And I hope you enjoyed. My personal favorite is the previous example of arrangements, but this one will work too. I hope this video does serve to give anyone out there some inspiration to, you know, modify their Lego sets and modify their Batcave. Because this Batcave is probably my favorite out of all the ones that have been released. And yeah, you can let me know which is your favorite Batcave in the comments. And I will see you guys later in the next video if I make one. Goodbye! Oh my goodness, what is this? A post-credit scene? Well, for anyone who stick to the end, here's a surprise modification. So, the other thing that this set came with was Clayface. And what I changed with him was, I changed his hands. His hands used to be really bad, and they couldn't make the most important hand configuration, which is the punching. So I changed his hand. So instead of 3 fingers, he has 4. That includes a thumb and 3 movable fingers. Now he can punch. And yeah, so I just you know, rearrange some things here and put in a little thumb. And besides that, I also put this here. The reason for that is because I hate the way it spins. It adds no play feature, no playability. It's just annoying. So yeah, you guys can cover this up as well if you want, so it doesn't spin. So anyway, and don't forget to, you know, and I'll see you later. Bye.